Assalamualaikum to Sensei Saiful and everyone. Today, our group will present a project on cruise control using a PID controller. This topic focuses on how we can maintain a car's speed automatically using feedback control. This presentation covers PID tuning and system analysis done in MATLAB and Simulink. Our group members are me, Natasha, along with Zana, Kamal, and Arif from class Canon. Now, let's start with the introduction. What is cruise control? Cruise control is a system that keeps a car moving at a constant speed automatically. It adjusts the engine throttle on its own so the car can stay at the same speed even when going uphill or downhill. For this project, our goal is to design and analyze a PID controller for the cruise control system using MATLAB and Simulink. We compare P, PI, and PID controllers to see which one give the best accuracy and stability. In the diagram, the engine gives an input force shown as U. Friction pushes back against the motion shown as B times V. The car has a mass, M, and V represents the speed of the vehicle. The model is based on Newton's second law. When we include friction, the equation becomes M times the change of V plus BV equals the input force. This explains how the engine force and friction affect the car speed. For the design performance, we want three things. First, rise time less than 5 seconds, overshoot less than 10%, and lastly, steady state error less than 2%. This ensures the cruise control reacts quickly, stays stable, and keeps the speed accurate. Here, we look at the cruise control plant, which represents the physical behavior of the vehicle. We model the car as a mass damper system. The engine provides a forward force, U, while friction and the air resistance slow the car down with a force equals to V times the speed, V. Using Newton's second law, the relationship between these forces become M multiplied by the change of speed minus B multiplied by the speed equals the input force, U. When we take the Laplace transform of this equation and rearrange it, we get the transfer function of the cruise control system. This shows how the input U affects the speed, V. This Simulink diagram represents the same model. The inertia block represents the mass, M. The damping block represents B, and the integrator converts acceleration into speed. For our parameters, we use vehicle mass, M, equals to 1,000 kilograms. Damping coefficient B equals to 50 Newton seconds per meter. And input force U equals to 500 newtons. This transfer function forms the base model for our controller design later. The open loop system represents how the car behaves without any controller. It only shows how the throttle input converts to speed. In this model, there is no feedback to correct errors. So, the system cannot automatically maintain or adjust speed. This open loop model acts as the foundation before we add the controllers later. The Simulink model in figure 3 shows this open loop setup clearly. We just add step at the input of the plant and we put probe at the output of the plant. When tested in open loop mode, the system reacts very slowly. The car speed increases but never reaches the target of 10 meters per second. It only reaches 2 meters per second as you can see here in the step response diagram, meaning there is a large steady state error. This proves that without feedback, the system cannot maintain the desired speed accurately. It's stable, but it performs poorly, just too slow for practical use. As you can see in the figure 4, the output rises slowly and flattens before even reaching the target. To understand the open loop system better, we analyzed it in the frequency domain using the pole zero map and bird plot. The pole zero map shows a single pole at s equals to negative 0.05 on the left side of the S-plane. This means the system is first order, stable, and non-oscillatory. However, since the pole is close to the origin, the response is slow. The bird plot also confirms this. It shows a typical single pole roll off of about negative 20 decibel per decade. And the phase shift from 0 degree to negative 90 degree, which matches a first order behavior. In short, the open loop system is stable but too slow to meet the design criteria. So, we will later add controllers to improve its speed and accuracy.
Okay, for this slide, uh, closed loop response. A closed loop system include a feedback connection between the controller and the plant. And this means the controller continuously adjusts the input based on the difference between the desired speed and the actual speed of the vehicle. Here, the controller is represented by CS, which can be a PI, or PID controller, while PS represent to the vehicle model or the plant. Okay, the feedback loop automatically adjusts the throttle to reduce steady state error, ensuring the vehicle speed remains stable. As a result, the closed loop system respond faster and reach the target speed of 10 meter per second smoothly. On the right, you can see the block diagram of the closed loop cruise control system. This setup provide faster response, zero steady state error, and improved stability. Okay, for this slide, uh, controller parameters using the Ziegler curves principle. The Z to N method provides standard ratios between Kp, Ki, and Kd to achieve fast and stable control. However, in our case, the system did not oscillate, so we couldn't directly measure Ku and Pu value. Instead, we adjust the gain step by step using the Z to N logic to ensure consistent improvement in performance. As for why no oscillation occurred, our system is first order with only one real pole at s equal to negative 0.05. Since there are no complex poles, the system cannot oscillate. This is why the Z to N oscillation test wasn't possible, and the system instead respond smoothly and gradually to change. Okay, for this slide, proportional control. Okay, look at first picture, first graph. With Kp equals to 100, the system is very slow. Takes over 26 seconds to settle and has a large error of 3.33 meters per second. And second graph, when we increase Kp to 800, everything improved. The system respond in just 4.6 seconds and the error drops to only 0.59 meters per second. Much better. And both both are stable with no overshoot. However, notice we still have some error remaining even with this with height gain. This show the main problem with P-only control. It can't eliminate error completely. The higher the gain, the smaller the error, but it never reach zero. That's why we need integral control.
Here we have the proportional integral or PI controller. The integral term Ki is added to remove the steady state error that remain in the proportional only control. And this is the transfer function for PI controller. We tested two configurations. First, with Kp equal to 800, Ki equal to 1, the response was smooth and accurate but slightly slower. Second, increasing Ki to 40 made the response faster while keeping zero steady state error. Both remain stable and overshoot free, showing the car reached 10 meters per second smoothly without oscillation. So overall, the PI controller successfully removed the steady state error and achieved both speed and accuracy in the cruise control system. And this is the code that we use to generate step response in MATLAB. Next, we move on to the PID controller, which include the derivative term KD. The derivation action help the system anticipate change in error, improving damping and reducing small oscillation or overshoot. This is the transfer function formula for PID controller. We tested two configuration too. First, with KD equal to 10, the response was smooth, fast, and completely stable with zero steady state error. And second, when KD was increased to 200, the rise became slightly faster, the damping improved, and a very small overshoot about 0.04% speed, still well within the stable range. Overall, the PID controller doesn't make the system much faster, but it refines the transient response, producing smoother and more stable motion. In this case, our cruise control system already performed excellently with the PI controller, achieving zero steady state error and no overshoot. The PID just adds a layer of refinement, smoother but not significantly better, making it more an enhancement than a necessity for this application. And this is the code that we use to generate PID step response in MATLAB.
The table compares C controller configuration, PPI and PID using the KP, KI and KD value. Each controller is evaluated using step response metric, rise time. How fast the system responds, lower equal faster. Overshoot, how much the output exceed the target value. Lower equal more stable. Settling time, how long the output take the stabilize. Lower equal better. Steady state error, SSE, remaining error after the system state settle. 0 equal excellent equals. For example, P controller KP equals 100, very slow rise time, 14.648 seconds. No overshoot, very long settling time, large SSE 3.333 millis m per second. And accurate, low KP give slow and weak control. PI controller KI equal 1. Moderate rise time. No overshoot. Eliminate SSE 0. Adding a small integral term remove steady state error. PID controller KD equals 10. Rise time slightly increased 2.775 seconds. No overshoot. Settling time is similar to PI. SSE is 0. A small derivative term KD equal 10 adds damping and smooth the response. For overall, P only controller become fast with high KP but cannot remove SSE. PI controller fully eliminate steady state error. PID controller add damping and stability but too much KD can slow the response. Now I will present the summary of observation from the P, PI and PID controller test. First, for the proportional P control. When the KP value was increased, the system responded faster. However, a small steady state error was still present. Overall, the response was stable over time and had no overshoot. Next, for the proportional integral PI control. By adding the integral term KI, the steady state error was completely removed. The response became smooth and accurate, and the faster performance was achieved at KP equal uh, 800 and KI equal 40. Then, for the proportional integral derivative PID control, the derivative term KD help improve damping and reduce oscillation. The result in a smoother and more stable output with only a very small overshoot. Finally, for the overall trend, we can see the performance improve when moving when moving moving from PI PI provide PI provide the best span and accuracy. Uh, while PID produce the smoother and more stable response. And that is the summary of our observation. Next, I will discuss how is term in the PID controller affects the system. First, the proportional term KP increase the system speed and overall responsive. However, when only KP is used, it still leaves a small steady state error. So, system also the system become faster but not fully correct. Second, the integral term Ki were to remove this steady state error completely. With Ki add, the system can reach the target value 10 meter per second accurately and without any overshoot. This made the system both precise and reliable. Finally, the derivative term KD helps smooth the response. It reduces oscillation, improve damping, and increase overall stability and comfort. The only trade-off is that it slightly slow down the rest time, but the output become much more controlled. So overall, system contribute differently. KP improve speed, KI improve accuracy, and KD improve smoothness and stability. For this slide, I will explain how our simulation result relate to the single Nichols or ZN turning method. First, the simulation result closely match the theoretical prediction of the single Nichols turning rule. This means the behavior we observe in the system is consistent with what the ZN method expects. Next, when we increase KP, the system becomes faster, showing a quite quick rise time. However, this also introduces a steady state error, which is one of the common effects of high proportional gain. Then, when we add Ki, the steady state error is removed completely. This confirms that the integral term is essential for accuracy. After that, adding KD improves the damping, reduce oscillation, and increase overall stability. So, KD plays an important role in making the output smoother. Finally, this observation confirmed that Zinger's Nichols turning provide valid and reliable gain relationship for setting KP, KI, and KD. That conclude the discussion for this slide. Now, now let's move on the conclusion. First, the P controller improved the speed of the system response. However, it still leaves a steady state error, meaning the system doesn't fully reach the desired value. Next, the PI controller addresses this weakness. By adding the integral component, it eliminates the steady state error. As a result, the system achieves a fast yet stable response. Then we have the PID controller, which include the derivative component. This controller make the response smoother and help reduce overshoot. However, it tend to make the system slightly slower compared to compared to the PI controller. Overall, based on the comparison of the three controller, the PI controller provide the best balance between accuracy and stability. It removes the error without making the response too slow or overly complex. And that conclude the analysis.
These are the references we used throughout our project. We referred to the University of Michigan CTMS tutorial for the cruise control modeling, MATLAB's official documentation for the PID controller implementation, and our lecture slides for the theory and formula used in our design. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.